The morning sun bathed the Pride lands in gold as the wind carried the scent of blooming grass. Simba stood atop Pride Rock, his mane catching the sunlight, his gaze fixed on the horizon. Every sunrise reminded him of his father's words. A true king sees the land, not as his to own, but as his to protect. Today, those words weighed heavily on his heart. He had seen signs-trampled grass near the northern border, frightened zebras, and strange claw marks by the river. Something was moving through his kingdom, something that didn't belong. Kiara bounded up the rock, full of restless energy. "Papa, can I come with you on patrol today?" she asked, her eyes sparkling. Simba smiled but shook his head. "Not today, Kiara, it might be dangerous." Her ears drooped. "You always say that. How will I ever learn to be a queen if you don't let me see what's out there?" Nala chuckled softly behind them. "She's growing, Simba. Maybe it's time to let her learn beyond the safety of Pride Rock." Simba looked at his daughter, seeing not just a cub but a lioness beginning to find her place. "All right," he said at last, "you can come. But you must promise to listen." "A queen's first strength is wisdom." Kiara grinned. "I promise." They set off across the plains, the sun warm on their backs. Birds scattered as they passed, and the distant roar of elephants echoed faintly. For a while, everything felt peaceful, till they reached the northern edge of the Pride lands. There, the air changed. The grass grew thin, the soil cracked, and a faint metallic scent hung in the wind. Simba stopped, his tail flicking. "Stay close," he said. Kiara sniffed the air. "It smells strange here. It's the scent of fear," Simba said quietly. "And fear always leaves a trail." They followed the broken path until they came upon a clearing. The ground was scorched in patches, and nearby trees bore deep claw marks, fresh ones. Simba crouched low, inspecting the prints. They were large, heavier than any lion's. "What is it?" Kiara whispered. Simba frowned. "Hyenas don't leave marks like this, and these claws. They belong to a leopard." Kiara tilted her head. "But leopards don't hunt here, not usually," Simba said. "But when fear or hunger drives them, they cross boundaries." Before he could say more, a low growl rolled through the brush. A figure stepped into view, a large leopard with golden eyes and a scar running across his muzzle. He moved slowly, like a shadow brought to life. "This land isn't yours," Simba said firmly. The leopard sneered. "Land belongs to the strong, King Simba, and your borders mean nothing to a hunter like me." Simba took a step forward, his mane bristling. "There's enough for everyone if you hunt with respect." "Respect?" the leopard growled. "Did your father respect my kind when they pushed us into the dry lands? You rule from your rock, but you know nothing of hunger." Kiara watched, her heart pounding. The leopard's words were filled with anger and pain, but behind them, she sensed something else: fear. Simba's voice softened. "Then talk to me. Don't bring danger to the Pride lands." But the leopard snarled. "Words don't fill an empty belly." In an instant, he lunged. Simba met him midair, their bodies colliding with a thunderous impact. Dust rose around them as they wrestled, claws flashing, roars shaking the ground. Kiara froze, terrified. She had never seen her father like this, fierce, primal, and desperate. "Stay back," Simba roared as he pinned the leopard, but his strength was met with equal fury. The leopard twisted free, slashing Simba's shoulder, before vanishing into the thickets. Kiara ran to Simba, eyes wide. "Papa, you're hurt." "It's nothing," Simba said, panting. "But this isn't over." They began the long walk home, the sky darkening with heavy clouds. Kiara walked in silence beside him, her young mind turning over what she had seen. When they reached Pride Rock, Nala hurried to them, worry flashing in her eyes. "What happened?" Simba sighed. "A leopard crossed into our lands. He's desperate and dangerous." Nala tended to his wound gently, and Kiara's Simba looked at his daughter. She was brave, but I fear she's seen more than I wanted her to. Kiara frowned. "You think I'm scared?" Simba met her gaze. "Everyone feels fear, Kiara, even kings." She hesitated. "But you weren't afraid." Simba smiled faintly. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the strength to do what's right, even when you are afraid. That night, Kiara couldn't sleep. The image of the leopard haunted her, the hunger in his eyes, the pain in his voice. She thought of her father's lesson about courage. But another question gnawed at her heart. If courage means doing what's right, then what's right for someone who's starving? At dawn, while everyone slept, Kiara slipped away from Pride Rock. She followed the scent trail north, back toward the dry lands. Her paws trembled as she walked, but her heart burned with determination. She didn't go to fight. She went to understand. After hours of walking, she found the leopard resting beneath a fallen tree, his breath shallow, his ribs showing. He opened one eye as she approached. "The little princess," he murmured. "Come to finish your father's fight." Kiara shook her head. "No, I came to ask why you're here." The leopard chuckled bitterly. "Because your father's kingdom has water, and mine doesn't. My cubs starved last season. I hunt where I must." Kiara's heart twisted. "I'm sorry." He blinked, surprised. "Sorry from a lion. That's new." She took a step closer. "Maybe we can help." "My father doesn't want enemies." The leopard's expression softened, but only for a moment. "The world isn't as kind as you think, little one. Help won't bring back what I've lost, but it could stop others from losing," she said gently. Before he could reply, a low growl rumbled behind her. Simba stepped into the clearing, his eyes filled with both relief and fury. Kiara flinched. "Papa, wait!" Simba's voice boomed. "You disobeyed me. You could have been killed." The leopard rose slowly. "She came to understand what you never tried to." Simba glared. "You endangered my daughter. And you endangered my family when your borders cut off the river." The leopard hissed. "We suffer so you can live in peace." The words hit Simba hard. He turned to Kiara, who stood trembling between them. "Papa," she said softly, "if we share water, no one has to fight." Simba stared at her, her small voice echoing his father's wisdom in ways he hadn't expected. He looked at the cracked land, the thin trees, the desperate creature before him. "Perhaps you're right," he said finally. He took a deep breath, then stepped toward the leopard. "Come to Pride Rock tomorrow at dawn. Bring your pride. We'll talk about sharing the river." The leopard's eyes widened. "You'd trust me?" Simba nodded. "Not trust. Hope, and hope is stronger than fear." That night, as they walked home, Simba placed a paw gently on Kiara's shoulder. "You broke a rule," he said quietly. She looked down. "I know, but you also reminded me of something important." He continued. "A true queen doesn't just protect her people, she protects the balance of the land." Kiara looked up at him, her eyes bright. "So you're not mad?" Simba chuckled. "I'm still your father, Kiara. I'll always worry, but I'm proud of you." The next morning, as promised, the leopard came with his small, weak pride behind him, too. The lions of Pride Rock watched from a distance as Simba and Kiara led them to the river's edge. There was tension at first, a wall built from years of distrust. But as the sun rose higher, the two prides drank side by side. Later, Rafiki watched from a tree above, smiling. "Ah," he murmured, "the cub teaches the king, and the king learns to listen." The circle of life turns once more, adds. The day ended. Simba and Kiara stood together overlooking the land. "You were brave today," Simba said. Kiara smiled. "I learned from the best." Simba gazed at her proudly. "No, Kiara, today, I learned from you." The wind swept across the plains, carrying with it the sound of laughter, life, and hope. The Pride Lands shone brighter than ever, not because of power, but because compassion had found its voice again. And far beyond the hills, in lands once dry and forgotten, the first drops of rain began to fall.